Welcome to Why Don't We Dress for Dinner Anymore? With the polka dotted princess, Teddy Krochman.
And my co-host, Melissa Pierce, natural redhead, and boho chic.
That's me. Teddy,
What?
I've got something for Style or Pile.
Okay, style or pile. Here we
All right,
go.
because I've been in and out of airports
Yes,
for
you've
the
been
last
traveling quite a
several
bit.
several weeks, and I saw something. I tried to get a picture of it covertly and did not. So yeah, I'm terrible covert. I rarely take pictures anyway, but so I looked it up on the internet. Apparently, it's back. So I'm going to show you this picture on my phone, and for
We'll
everyone
put it up on the
watching, I'll put it up
screen.
on the screen. Uh, tell
Oh, get
me.
out of here.
Uh-huh. Oversized scrunchies are back.
That
You
is
remember the
definitely,
90s?
yeah, but I don't remember any over scrunchies.
You
Over
remember those
oversized
giant
scrunchies. No,
scrunchies?
no, I don't. I remember scrunchies, but I no, don't remember ever seeing anybody wearing an over. That's
It was,
hideous.
yeah, it was, oh, it's so style or pile for you. Let's
I'm
get.
being a little judgmental.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That would definitely be pilot. Don't even buy it. Don't, what the hell are you thinking when you buy that thing? It is like a monstrosity on your head.
It's like
You know what
so.
I use scrunchies for in real life? I have a scrunchies because when you wash your face in my sink, the water drips down your arms and then it goes all over the countertop, and I hate that. So I learned on Instagram from a friend, if you put scrunchies on your wrist when you wash your face, the scrunchies absorb the water and you don't get it all over your countertop. So that's the only way that I wear a scrunchie is on my
Oh.
wrists to prevent water leakage.
I only wear the silk scrunchies when I put my hair in a bonnet at night.
Yeah, and that's a
Yeah, yeah,
nighttime thing, yeah,
yeah. It's a
too. If you want
nighttime
to
thing.
wash your face or
Yeah,
get your hair off your face.
yeah. Scrunchies are for
For
children.
functional. They're functional or for
Yeah.
children. Right. That oversized thing, that's like, who came up with that?
I don't know. I don't know. I like
That's
stand.
hideosity.
Okay,
It's
standards have
hideosity.
hideosity.
Hideosity is my new word.
Okay, standards have slipped at airports though.
You've been traveling a lot
Yeah,
lately.
yeah.
You know, I remember a time, so let's let the mature old lady talk. I remember a time when flying was considered a luxury, an elegance. Planes were a lot wider. I remember when I was traveling to Greece in my 20s. And I went on Olympic Airlines, remember, owned by Onassis, who was married to Jackie. That's where she got
Mhm.
the O. And I was in, the regular, what do you call that when you're not paying
Coach.
them a coach? I was in coach, two big seats, food served to you. You would just go through the gate. There was no screenings of any kind, none whatsoever. You could actually sit very well dressed, comfortably in a plane for even 7, 8 hours and feel just fine.
Mm.
But now traveling has become such a chore. I mean, you have to go through these TSA lines and have everything scrutinized. And then you're sitting and you're all scrunched instead of two seats. Now they've got to scrunch three seats, and the seats are like this big. So even a little person like me, sometimes it's not so much the seat size for me, but it's the person who's overlapping onto me. And a
Mm.
lot of times you'll get a big man or a larger woman and they're overlapping into you because they're tall or big or whatever. It's just horribly uncomfortable to travel. So, in some ways, I can see why people have kind of gone for more comfort when they're traveling. But I think what we're seeing, and especially what you're seeing, because you travel so much for all your consulting and jobs that you do, is you're seeing some things that are almost unbearable.
I'm seeing people in their pajamas with
Yeah,
their hair's not brushed. They're wearing their slippers.
right.
They're like
They look like they're going to bed rather than traveling
yeah,
to.
they look like they're going to bed and I'm not trying to judge them. I'm really just trying to understand how they could
Yeah,
show up in public like that. I mean, I understand that you have to travel for comfort,
right.
right? It's air
Nobody
travel.
expects you to wear,
Air
unless you're
travel.
traveling
Yeah.
for a 1 hour flight and you're going to a business meeting, nobody expects you to be wearing
Yeah.
a suited up
I
kind of
mean, in
thing.
the same way, I am mystified for the people who show up to the airport in their pajamas at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
I am also mystified at the women who show up to the airport at 5 a.m. in full makeup.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they
They
do
got up
that.
at 2 in the morning,
Yeah,
obviously, to do
I have
that.
no idea.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at everybody in the airport in like what they're wearing, and I'm like, are you going to work out?
Yeah.
Are you
A lot of athleisure there.
are you about to work in your garage? Right. And they've got
Maybe
like
they're gonna fix a plane.
right. Are you going on a hike? Where like is your can you got your canteen, you got your like little pillow,
You got your
you got your like
I know that's the
snacks.
other thing I noticed. People carry, like, you think that if they're going to be like on a flight, I could see maybe for 4 hours plus or whatever, but they carry like these jugs of water with them, like they're going to the desert for 10 hours or something.
You know,
I couldn't drink that much water in that short of a period of time. I'd be peeing every 10 seconds, you know.
air travel is
It
dehydrating. It
is.
is dehydrating, so
It
I
is.
get that. But the joke when I'm in Europe is always you can always tell who the Americans are. One, because they dress terribly,
Right. And the water.
and two, it's the water bottles.
Yeah.
What Americans are obsessed with hydration, like
Yes.
they're obsessed with protein.
Yes.
And of course tennis shoes, right? Or
Yes. Which I'm
sneakers,
not,
right? Like we call them
yeah,
sneakers,
yeah,
etc. But yeah, the water bottles
yeah.
are great. Of
Off
course,
the chains.
of course, to buy water in an airport is like $5 or $6 to
It's,
buy water.
it's
So I
absurd.
totally get it. But
It's
these
absurd.
like hydro flasks that are they're they're like a gallon.
I mean, really,
You're
where are you
kidding?
going? The Mojave Desert? I
I,
mean, really.
I don't know. It's like a gallon. Like
Come
a
on.
gallon of water. That's 8 pounds. That's
And then
like a
you've got
full.
all your luggage
That's a
you're
full
dragging with you.
baby. That's like
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
baby.
I don't get
Mm.
air. I think airport behavior has become erratic. I'm not sure if it's people are just like, I don't care. You know, I'm scrunched up. The airline is not providing any food whatsoever. Now, if you want like a little bag of peanuts, oh, that'll be $3 if you want a peanut. It's like, really? I remember when they would serve you full meals and it was a three
I
hour
mean,
flight.
yeah, they still do that on international flights
I'm
now.
talking about like if I was flying, let me take you back to my honeymoon days. This was 48 years ago or 47 years ago. My husband and I flew to Las Vegas from Chicago. That's literally about a 3.5 hour flight.
Mm.
We had two full meals served to us. We were in a big plane that had, three seats across, but they were big, good sized seats. Now it's like you're scrunched in this little cargo area. You're almost like the luggage itself. You're squished in with a bunch of people. They starve you. The only thing they give you to drink is water. And again, you don't need to carry the water flask because they will provide you with water minimally on most airlines.
They will.
So, what do you see as do you see anything, Melissa, as a midway between looking like you just fell out of bed and you're going to the Mojave Desert and actually looking like, you made some attempt to look put together, but you need comfort. Do you have any ideas for people who are traveling who can maybe, maintain a little bit of style, but, still maintain the comfort as well too?
Well, I I have always been told the way you travel is the way you show up in the world.
Oh, that's very good. You're
Right.
right.
The way you travel
Hmm.
is that's how you present yourself in the world. And
Yeah,
it's very literal, but also that is the way you're presenting yourself
you are
to
literally.
that is the
Yeah,
presentation. And you do want to dress for comfort, but you need that comfort to be, you don't know what's going to happen when you step off that plane.
very good.
You don't know where that plane is going to go or where, like
Right.
you assume that that plane is going to get somewhere
Right.
right.
But you
That
could
you're
end up
going,
waylaid at another airport
correct.
for hours.
You could end up sitting next to your next blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
You
you could meet
know,
somebody on a plane.
nobody thinks about that because they're just in their bubble,
Hmm.
etc. So I try to dress for comfort, but I also make sure that what I am wearing is at minimum clean.
Hmm.
Looks like I could possibly wear it to a business meeting if I needed to,
Hmm.
so business casual.
Hmm.
It's not sweatpants. It might be a pair of slacks.
Hmm.
They don't have to be cotton or wool. They might be some sort of like a jersey or a
Yeah,
knit. That's really nice
that's
because it's
comfortable
like
because
it's
it
nice and
flexes a
comfortable.
little. Yeah, so you're
It
not in
flexes
that
a little,
stiff kind of a thing. Because I
right,
find even jeans are uncomfortable on a plane.
right. It's cleanable, which is great.
Hmm.
Um, I always bring a shawl or some sort of jacket that has pockets.
Hmm.
That way I can take it off, put it on,
Hmm.
use it for various things. Um, and that's basically it. And I normally wear flat shoes in an
Yes,
airport.
even me. And I'm
Yeah,
high heel
yeah. I'm like,
Missy,
and you're high heeled
but
all the
no, I
time.
will definitely wear flats. Now, when I say flats, they're for me, they're usually like little wedges because I don't like, here's the thing is if I find that if I wear completely flat shoes like ballet slippers, I've always had back problems even as a teen. And so when I don't have any support because I have very high arches, if I wear completely flat shoes, I actually get a really bad backache. So I need a
Yeah.
little bit of a lift, but they're still comfortable to walk in, you
Right.
know.
And if I need to change out of them, I've got my heels in my
Hmm.
carry-on.
Hmm.
Or, if I really need to wear those heels, and I've
Yeah,
got ballet slippers in my
right,
carry-on so I can put those on once I get
right,
into the airport or whatever.
right.
But I always need to be prepared for
Yeah,
whatever is on the other side of that gate.
right,
Maybe I'm just going to the hotel or whatever, but I could get a phone call that I need to
right,
go do something else.
right.
So I just want to be prepared, but
Yeah.
also I want to be respectful of the people that I am in the airport with.
Hmm.
I'm going to show up showered.
Yes,
I'm,
that's the
I'm
other.
going to show up
The
in
BO
clean.
plenty, man. It's
I'm going to show up
on
in
the
clean clothes.
plane, the BO plenty, and they got that air circulating for a reason, you know.
I mean, and at some level you can't help it. Planes are hot. They are stuffed full of people.
They are.
There are so many things
And
you
the
cannot.
things overhead and people
Yeah,
throwing the stuff out in the overhead bins and trying to maneuver and going to the bathroom. If you're like in the window seat, you've got to crawl over two people just to, go to the bathroom. So you got to have something where you can maneuver,
right. And if
you
you're
know.
drinking that gallon hydro flask, you better not be sitting in the window seat. That's all I have
And
to
I
tell
always get the
you.
window seat.
Do
But you
you?
know what? Ken always sits next to me. So I crawl over him. Unfortunately, it's the aisle person that usually I'm like falling on top of, like I do
Oh,
like one of those, what do they call that when you I surf. I like
you
do
surf
I
over.
body surf over the person in the aisle. Like I'm body surfing.
Right. You didn't miss the 90s. You just do them on
I just did the
airplanes.
air, yeah.
Yeah.
I started the bodies.
You started
I
body surfing
invented
on
body
airplanes.
surfing just to go to the bathroom. And people will lift me up and
Right.
pass me around till I get to the bathroom.
But I am I am amazed at what people will wear to an
Yeah,
airport. They just are not clocking
yeah,
other people. So why don't we
right.
dress to travel anymore is my new
Yes.
question. Why don't we dress for travel anymore?
Right. And I agree with you. I think no matter where you're going, and as much as we try to expound on people need to dress up, people need to be present, people need to make dress up like you're going to an occasion. There are some exceptions. When I run to the grocery store, which is literally 2 minutes from my house, my way of looking presentable is slapping on a pair of big sunglasses, put a little lipstick on, put on a decent shirt and a pair of jeans, and I'm off. I'm not exactly styling up everything, but just in case I run into a neighbor, at least I don't look like, I'm cleaning out the basement. So I think the same principle, and you're right, Melissa, I think the same principle has to be applied to airport dressing, is that you don't know who you're going to run into. You don't know if you're single, it might be your next wife or husband or partner. You don't know if you're going to see a friend that you haven't seen for 10 years and all of a sudden you both just happen to land on the same destination. As I said many times on this show, one of the things my mom always used to say is the minute you let your guard down with the way you look, that's when you're going to run into somebody that you don't want to see,
Right. And I
you
just think,
know?
yeah, dressing sloppy is just a big screw you to the
Yeah,
other people in your
right.
space. I feel like it's
And
disrespectful.
I think you're right with your description of people are like living in their own bubbles. So I think people, because especially after the pandemic, we know this for sure that the rate of anxiety has gone up like 50% in this country. Depression has also increased,
Hmm.
but the anxiety is often related to social anxiety. People got so used to not interacting in person with other human
Right.
beings. They would talk on over the computers or social media or whatever. So there was this like isolation for a period of 2 years. People got so comfortable with it that people are still now cocooning. They're in their bubble. They don't. look and see people around them. It's like they're in their own little worlds. And it's very concerning because, one of the social things that especially women used to do, and men do it as well too, is we dress for the social occasion that we're attending. We dress for wherever we're going. And that was part of being social,
Right. And
was
those,
commenting on each other's clothing and,
right.
oh, I feel good in this outfit. And so dressing was part of socializing. And I
And
think
the,
because we lost that socialization, we've lost our styling.
right. And those comments are kind of the social lubricant to make it easy to
Yeah.
be in conversation. And so we kind of lose that
If you're when you're
eh,
first meeting somebody,
when
you
you're
say,
first,
"Oh,
and
I love those
and I understand that,
earrings."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's something that we lose.
Yeah.
Um, and I was going to mention something that in my studies and communication studies, that has come to light is these interactions that we do online are actually more isolating than we think they are. We
Yeah.
think we're connecting, we think we're like getting at the essence of
Yeah.
something, but they're actually much more isolating than we think they
Hmm.
are. And so we really do need this connection because we are physical beings
Yes.
and we need that
You
actual
need that human
human
connection.
electricity, that creature.
Hmm.
We are creatures. We need that creature
Yes,
electricity.
exactly.
Um, and and I think some of that
Yeah.
is the dressing, is the semiotics that is sending signals.
Right. Well, like we say, the first communication that you have with anybody is when you walk into the room and they see how you're dressed. That is the first communication. You are communicating to people, this is who I am. And if you look like you just rolled out of bed and you didn't care anything about the way you looked, then basically the communication, at least that I'm receiving from that person, is I really don't care who's in the airport. I just want to get through this thing. I don't care about you. I don't want to meet anybody. I want to talk to anybody. Just leave me alone. So it's almost like saying, just leave me alone,
Right.
and that's become too common with people because they've shown there's studies that are out now that say that people who are socially isolated have a much higher rate of getting Alzheimer's when they get older. So that's one of the things that I make sure that I keep a social network around me because when you're retired, like I am, you can become very isolated. You lose contact with people you worked with, friends are here and there kind of a thing. And so it can be challenging as a senior person to have contact with people. And that's why I like the fashion community and I like going out to events and things because I have human contact with people.
I think it would be so fascinating to find out why people are purposefully isolating themselves.
Well, like I said,
As
I think part of it was the COVID training, you
you're right,
know?
and the anxiety, but purposefully isolating themselves,
Yeah. Because they have
when
social anxiety. That
committing
to
to,
interact with somebody is like, oh, now I've got to be interesting. Now I've got to say something. Now I've got to keep a conversation going. And so people are in the headspace where it's just easier to write, hit a like on Instagram
mm,
and maybe, put a couple of stars or a short little comment. And that's much easier interaction than actually sitting down with somebody and having a conversation, especially with somebody that they don't know. So meeting new people is a challenge now for a lot of people. They stay
it's
within
a
their
right.
own little group of two or three people who they've become comfortable with. But you need to look down the long run because most of us are living much longer than we used to. And it's very easy for somebody who's, let's say, mid 50s and up to start isolating to the point where when you get to retirement, you have almost no social network. And that could be very dangerous health wise. I mean, like I said, it's a higher rate of Alzheimer's for people who socially isolate.
That's it. I guess we're gonna start. I'm gonna meet all of y'all in an airport now. Just random
She will
stranger
be the glam.
airport.
She'll be the glam
Yeah,
traveler.
you can find me in any airport. I will carry a deck of Uno cards. If I see you from across the gate at O'Hare or Dulles or wherever we are, I've got Uno cards. I'll be dressed up. You'll be dressed up. We'll have a conversation. We'll compliment each other's stuff. I will Uno you under the table because I am very well versed in this after three children.
There you go.
Yeah, so
So
that's
you've
it.
got your travel plan. Well,
So I
I
got
think it's just an interesting topic. We hope that all of you can kind of take something away from this. Like I said, no judgment. We all
or
know traveling is hard.
or tell us.
But yeah, or tell us your
Yeah.
thoughts or comments down below. Do you agree? Do you think we're being too harsh on people
Do
who
you
are
have an idea?
traveling?
What happened?
How do you dress when you travel? What are your travel
Also, do
tips?
you have giant scrunchies? Because we are judging you. I'm
That is a
sorry.
monstrosity from hell. Whoever thought of that is laughing at women. That's all I've got to say is somebody who
What?
hates women or anybody who
May,
wants to fix their hair and is kind of
I mean, maybe they just love fabric. Maybe they didn't have
well,
scissors.
wear a turban then if you
Yeah,
love
maybe,
fabric. At least it's chic. I
maybe,
mean, that big jumbo goofy thing on your head. It's like, okay, I'll let you go with this. Okay, so some of you may have been watching the second part to Sex and the City, which is called And Just Like Us, and Just Like That, which was on HBO.
Okay.
I cannot tell you how many pictures I saw on fashion sites of Sarah Jessica Parker. Literally, she looked like she was wearing a pillowcase on her head that was supposed to be a hat. And everybody was like, who the hell styled her with that? That would be the same thing with that large scrunchie. If you wore that oversized scrunchie outside, everybody would think you've like lost it or something because Sarah Jessica, she had this hat on that was flopping all over her head like a pillowcase, and everybody on YouTube was showing it. It's like, what is she thinking? Because we think of Sex in the City. First of all, the clothes. Everybody loves the clothes, and Pat Field used to style it. She doesn't anymore. But she was literally wearing like a silly pillowcase on her head, and that was supposed to be a hat. There are some fashions that are just so over the top that it's not chic, it's not trendy, it's not edgy, it's just ridiculous. And in my opinion, that scrunchie falls into the pile of pile it, it's ridiculous.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it.
That's my opinion.
That it sure
And
is.
you got a shitload of it.
All right, Teddy, one more question. Why don't we dress for dinner anymore?
I don't know, Melissa. Why don't we?
Beats me.